activist, ethnopharmacologist, Ayurvedic practitioner, and the herbal facet of the original organic India crew. This video journal today is about psyllium. But before we get talking about psyllium, let's define our terms. Let's really figure out what we're talking about. Am I talking about that psyllium, which is one of the most heavily pesticide-filled crops in the world? I mean, a crop that puts, it's almost like cotton. Am I talking about that psyllium? I am not. Am I talking about that psyllium which is growing on the same ground as cumin is? And cumin is also one of the most heavily chemical pesticide-filled crops that there is. And so, that's the ground that this psyllium is growing in. Am I talking about that psyllium? I'm not. Am I talking about the psyllium where when rain falls on the psyllium field, the runoff, that water, is so incredibly toxic? It kills all the microorganisms, it kills the insects, it kills the amphibians, it kills the reptiles, it even kills the mammals, documented up to the size of deer and farm animals, as well as humans, like the farmers and the kids. It's horrible. I am not talking about that psyllium. Am I talking about the psyllium where we're at the last part of the processing, they fumigate it with methyl bromide, what an incredibly toxic thing for humans, but also for planets, in the sense that it's something like 300 times stronger than carbon dioxide as a greenhouse gas. Not talking about that psyllium. I talk about that psyllium on the shelves across America for the last 50 years that probably by now billions of people have consumed this horrendously toxic thing. I am not talking about that psyllium. Am I talking about that psyllium, which is this incredibly ironic thing where when people walk into a store and they want to reach for something that will detox them, they reach for one of the most toxic items in the store? I am not talking about that psyllium. The psyllium I'm talking about is Organic India's certified organic, biodynamic, fairly traded, pure, potent, premium quality psyllium husks. That's what I'm talking about. Huge difference, night and day. This other psyllium, it's like a formula. It's part psyllium husks, part pesticides, part methyl bromide. It's so many things. You don't need a formula. You only need organic, biodynamic, fairly traded, high quality psyllium husks. That's what we have. So that's what I'm talking about. And let's talk about how psyllium actually works. Most plants, the way that their activity is mediated is through chemistry, phytochemistry, an alkali here, bioflavonoid there. The activity of psyllium is mediated, it's just pure mechanical. There's no chemistry, well there is chemistry, but it's not like a complex chemistry like that. And it's mediated through the fiber. And there's several different types of fiber. One of the magic things about psyllium is that where most items are one type of fiber or the other, psyllium is all three types of fiber. And it's a really kind of interesting combination of those three types. Fraction 8, about 20% of psyllium. The intestinal flora can't ferment it at all, so it stays insoluble. And this is responsible for some of the movement through the colon, and it's also responsible for keeping some amount of mass to it. Fraction B, this is variably fermented by the flora in the colon. And so if it's kind of fermented and kind of not, it's kind of liquid and kind of solid, what is it? It's the gel. That fraction, it's about 55 to 60%. That fraction of the fiber in psyllium is responsible for this incredible gel-forming quality. And what's that about? There's so much that gives psyllium. For instance, this gel starts moving through the colon. It gives bulk, causes the peristalsis, so it supports the bowel movement. It gives this mass, something that the body can hold on and move. That's a second thing. It supports the production of mucin in the intestine. So it supports the protection and a lot of the functions in the cell walls of the colon. Another thing that it does, this particular fraction, is you have like this gel moving through it, through the colon, absorbing 2, 3, 4, 5 times its weight. So one of the things that it absorbs is the carbohydrates in the colon. As soon as it absorbs it, it kind of hides it and protects it from all the enzymes that would break down those carbohydrates. When that can't happen, less carbohydrates are digested. That means less sugars are pumped into the blood. That means the psyllium is helping to maintain healthy balances of blood sugar levels. Another thing that the psyllium is doing, that particular fraction, as it moves through the colon, is it's taking the bile in the colon. The bile is there to digest the fat, remember. Taking the bile and excreting it. And so as the bile is excreted, you might say, I want that bile. You know, normally the bile goes back through the portal vein back into the liver. And, but in this case, it gets excreted. So what that causes, suddenly the liver has to make more bile. And how does it make bile? It makes it out of cholesterol. So suddenly the liver is reaching into the blood for cholesterol to make more bile. The end effect is that the psyllium helps maintain healthy levels of cholesterol. That's that whole fraction. So it's fantastic. And then that third fraction, fraction C, is quickly fermented by the flora in the colon. And so what that does, it breaks it down right away. What does it break it down into? Short-chain fatty acids, SCFA. And one of the main fatty acids that it breaks it down into is butyrate. You might not know that word. You should. It's such a wonderful thing. All the cells in the body typically live on this whole glucose-glycogen cycle, and except the cells in the inside of the colon, they live on this butyrate. So if there's no butyrate there, they starve, they get crusty, they lose their function. So many problems. I can't even tell you the problems because the FDA doesn't let me speak like that on videos like this. Huge problems. And you feed yourself the butyrate, and this psyllium is one of the great ways to get this. Your colon cells will be fed, so many problems are taken care of. By the way, the best source of butyrate is a really wonderful organic ghee, like ancient organics ghee is really good. So that's that third fraction. There's also like the viscosity. Psyllium is very high viscosity, and a lot of these actions are due to that high viscosity. Some fibers are low viscosity, like rice bran. They don't have nearly the same effect. You know, they help move the colon a little bit, but none of these other effects. So now we know about psyllium. It's a really important thing to know is how to take it, because if you take it wrong, you can like negate everything. When you take psyllium, take somewhere between like a teaspoon and a tablespoon in a really tall glass of room temperature water or slightly warmer. Put it in there, stir it really quick. Remember, the moment it goes into the water, it starts gelling. So you want to drink it really fast. You drink it really fast, and then you drink another one. I mean, without the psyllium, just plain water, nice tall 16-ounce glass of water or more, slightly warm, drink that down, chase it. If you don't do that, the density of the psyllium will be too great, and it will tend to cause, be much harder. It will tend to cause congestion. If you drink enough water, the dilution will be enough so that it's a really good gel and it moves through and it has all of these qualities. So that's a very important thing. Also, if you can take the psyllium maybe once a month, once a week, something like that. Don't take it more. If you find yourself needing something every day, what you need is triphala. You want to take, triphala is the one colon cleanser laxative that you can take every day. So there you have it, another video journal on psyllium, brought to you by Organic India and the Pacific Center of Ayurveda. Thank you, and fare thee well.